This past weekend, I vended at a card show not too far away from me in Cardiff. It was about a 2-hour drive away, and it was a pretty interesting show. It was the first time I've ever vended the Cardiff card show, and it was great fun. I had a really good time. Today, I'm going to go through with you a recap of how I got on at the card show, what I noticed in regards to what people were buying, what people were selling, trends that was happening, what was the most requested things, and we're also going to be comparing, some of the prices that I have seen compared to some of the market prices, because there was some pretty crazy stuff. On top of that, I'll also be going through how much money I made, what was it that I was picking up as well, also then breaking down all of the costs and everything that goes into attending one of these events. Okay, so I'll be going through all that. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting things off, this was a 2-day event. I only went for the Saturday, so I just went for one of the days, and I took out one table. I only chose to have one table mainly because I don't have a huge amount of stuff when it comes to vending. I've only just started doing it. This is my 4th ever show. So I don't really have enough to spread across multiple tables. Just pretty much one. I could stretch out and do 2. I do have a second display case that I could have used for lower level slabs, but pretty much that was my setup. Pretty good setup. I had 3 folders, which a lot of people loved using. So each folder was a little bit different. So one folder was English, whereas anywhere between was priced between anything between £5 to £10 on average. And then we had the folder that was under £5 English, looking at your normal EXs, your Vs, your VMAXs, baby shinies, and things like that. And then the final one was the Japanese folder. Now that one was super popular. In the Japanese folder is pretty much all art rares, no special art rares or secret art rares, whatever you want to call them. No SARs, it was just art rares. So no regular EXs or any full arts or anything like that, just art rares, right? And it was just full. So that was a really cool binder. Then the display case, I had a bunch of Ace and PSA 10s. So these would be my higher level slabs if people wanted to go in and pick any of them up or trade for them. Then on top of that, I also then had some high-end singles at the bottom. These will be cards that are usually priced anywhere between 20 all the way up to £100, depending on which card they are. And for the first time for any show, I started stocking the mystery packs, the holiday mystery packs. I started doing them on the streams about a week ago, and I thought, you know what, I'll take them with me to a card show. They were incredibly popular, and I'll get more into that in a moment. And then I also bought with me some sealed. So I have a few booster boxes that I took with me. I took some Inferno X booster boxes I had lying around. I took with me a Burning Shadows booster box and a Cosmic Eclipse booster box, mainly get some eyes on the table, and it worked. There was a lot of people that, especially the Cosmic, they saw that booster box, they came over, they're talking about it, they're seeing other stuff, and then they end up buying stuff just because they saw this big expensive booster box. That was kind of interesting as well. If you took away the sealed product and it was just the slabs and the singles, I probably bought with me somewhere in the region of about £5,000 to £6,000 worth of stock. That was pretty much, maybe a little bit more, but that was pretty much roughly how much I brought with me. I didn't actually manage to fill out everything onto the table. There were extra stuff that was put away and kind of got brought out as stuff was getting sold. So there was more singles that were put away in a box. There was some more slabs, mainly 9s and some 10s, lower value 10s were replenishing stuff that was disappearing basically. So apart from that, it was pretty good. The breakdown costs of this, so the table at this event was £100 for one day, which is at the higher end. It's the more expensive tables, and I've noticed recently at card shows things are getting more and more and more expensive, which is not great. I think that in 2026 we might start to see the prices go down a little bit. A lot of places have expanded a little bit too quick and trying to capitalize on the big boom that's happened this year in 2025. But I think as we go into 2026, you're going to start seeing less and less people attend these shows, actually vend at them and just go to them to buy as well. So I think you might start to see some of them struggling. Some of them might actually start reducing their prices, going to smaller venues, and so on and so forth. As far as this card show went, the normal customer tickets were not fully sold out, but they did sell a good amount of tickets. It was super busy on the day. Vendors, they sold out on the vendors, but there was quite a few no-shows that didn't turn up, on the day. There was kind of a few empty tables just lying around. I don't know the reasons for it, but that was kind of a bit strange seeing just empty tables. And these wasn't just the odd table here and there. This was 2 tables here, 2 tables there, lots of two tables, right? And we kept seeing that quite a lot throughout the venue. So it was kind of a bit strange, but it is what it is. So £100 for the table. For the travel, so I drove there and drove back, that probably cost me some in the region of around about, I'll probably say about 20 to 25 pounds. And then food and drink for the day was about 20. So you're probably looking at about 140 to 150. Let's just say 150 to make it a lot easier. So 150 pounds for the overall cost. So the biggest thing of the day that was selling a lot was singles. People loved the binders. The amount of stuff that shifted out of these binders is incredible. I mean, the last 2 shows I've done now, the binders have been key. Like, so many people love going through binders and picking out the cards they want. The Japanese folder especially was the one that got absolutely ravaged. I mean, the amount that I sold through there, I think I worked out there was about 5 pages, like double-sided pages worth of IRs that were just gone. And I was sat there like, that's a decent amount, and I had to like look at, I need to restock this for the future. But it's super popular, people love them. It was a nice cheaper alternative than the English, and it was just a nice variety of artworks and cards and prices as well. And those illustration rares would be priced anywhere between £3 to £5 most of the time. I'd say the majority of them are probably £3, and people loved it. So that was really, really good. And for me, you know, having a Japanese contact where I'm able to just order bulk of illustration rares or art rares from Japan makes it a little bit cheaper. So that, you know, pretty good. I think after everything, you're looking at around about £1.30 an illustration rare. And if I'm selling a minimum £3, I'm doubling, you know, over 100%, which is very, very good. So it's really, the number's small, but the percentage is high. And if you do it in a lot, you know, high volume, it does wonders. It does really, really well. So they were really popular. Slabs, none. I didn't sell a single slab all day. I traded 2 slabs away for a whole bunch of singles. But as far as, yeah, slabs are concerned, I just couldn't shift any whatsoever, which is kind of annoying. You know, I've got a lot of slabs at the moment that ideally I want to try and shift between Ace and PSA. I've got another PSA submission coming back literally within the next month. I would assume it'll probably be here in January. I've got a lot coming from PSA, and I've still got, that I've done from the basic rate regarding Ace, I've still got like another 80 slabs to come back over the next few months in 2026. And I've got another PSA submission that's probably going to come back in the summer of 2026 as well. So there's a lot of slabs coming back. So I'm trying to shift the ones I've got ready for the new stock coming in. High-end singles, they actually sold very, very well. One thing I found with the high-end singles, so I priced up everything the day before. And I always suggest to people, if you're going to go to a show, try and do it the day before or the evening before. Some people even do it the morning of. It all depends if you've got the time. For me, I just do it the day before. One thing I've noticed at the moment, compared to like 2 months ago back in October, is prices are falling across the board. We cover the prices on here on this channel pretty much on a daily basis, from singles to slabs to sealed. And I've noticed everything has been falling. So when I priced a lot of my singles up and even the slabs, I was like, holy smokes, a lot of this has gone down in price on an average between 20 to 30% from 2 months ago, right? From the October show that I went to, things have dropped a hell of a lot. So I priced things up accordingly, and they sold incredibly well. However, when I spoke to other vendors at the end of the day or throughout the day, I'm like, how's it going for you? You know, you doing well? And they said it was really bad, lack of sales, a lot of buy-ins, but they didn't really sell much. They actually, in a way, spent more than they made, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, I'm looking at their cards, I'm seeing their stock, I'm seeing what they got. The prices were of 2 months ago. These were prices, you know, when we're talking a card that was £50 2 months ago and is now 35, they still have it at 50. And that happened across the board, even slabs. I'm looking at slabs that I've got and they've got the same one. So like an example, there's Sylveon VMAX Trainer Gallery in a PSA 10. I have it listed for 190. I think it's roughly around 180, maybe 190 on eBay. Another vendor had it for 250. There were others like that, and it was constantly. And I would say it was like, especially with PSA, the PSA slabs were a really, really high premium, and they just weren't selling. And, you know, at the end of the day, people can price however they want. But when you're there going, I'm not making any sales, and you look at the prices, and there was a few cards that I was like, oh, you know, I was interested in buying. I was like, oh, there was one vendor I went up to, and I was like, can I buy this? And it was the Dash Bun, right? Of course, I'm always after the Dash Bun. And right now, you can buy them on eBay, you know, for a mint copy for like between 25 and £30. So I was like, you know what? let's see what they got. And they had it listed there for 45. And I'm there going, you know, would you do market price on this? And they turned and said to me, well, it is market price. And I was like, well, it's not, because on eBay, even listed, you know, it's like £30. I was like, look, I tell you, you know, I'll do slightly more than 30 if you want. It means I'm getting it for you here and now. I'll do it for like 32, 33. And the guy wouldn't budge anything less than 42. He said 42 was the best price because of what he paid with the card in. And that was really interesting. What's happened, and I've actually spoke to about 3 or 4 vendors actually on the weekend about it. In this current market state, people buying in these cards at 70% or even 80%. And what's happening is these cards have fallen quite heavily. So for example, let's say a card was £100, they bought it in for say 70, and now that card is now £70 raw. They're going, hang on a minute, even if I sell this, I'm not making any money out of it. It's literally a straight 1-for-1 of what I paid for it. They're trying to get as much out as humanly possible. So they keep the price at £100. Maybe they might drop it to 90, but they keep the price really, really high. Whereas, I mean, for someone like me, who I may have that card, or I may have pulled that card from a pack, so I didn't really pay anything, you know, for that card, apart from the price of a pack. And they're like, okay, I will list it at 70 or 75, and mine would sell. And they're next to me going, hang on a minute, how is yours selling, but mine isn't? And then when they find out the price, they're like, what's going on? I'm like, well, that's what the market price is, right? So that's kind of interesting as well. And the thing is going into 2026, with more restocks and reprints coming, especially for the 2025 sets, Prismatic, Journey Together, you know, Destined Rivals, Black Belt White Flare, even Mega Evo and Phantasmal, prices are going to continue to fall, slabs and singles. So I think that a lot of people need to be super careful when buying. I was really careful buying some stuff when I was there. So one of the things I was like aiming for, and what I was looking at picking up, was illustration rares from the Scarlet and Violet era. I actually really rate illustration rares, just like Trainer Gallery and Galarian Gallery cards I did from Sword and Shield. I was like, look, a lot of these have dropped in price quite heavily. And I was like, illustration rares, I think, are going to be very, very good, solid cards that people will always want for the long term. And, you know, down the line, even with reprints coming. I was avoiding sets from 2025. So I was looking at sets that were kind of early, early-ish Scarlet and Violet era. So I was looking at picking up A set, Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames, Paradox, Temporal, and Twilight. Those are the sets, and 151, of course. Those were the sets that I was looking to pick up a lot of illustration rares on, and that's basically what I did. Another thing that I was looking at picking up was just 151 in general. I felt like 151 was a good solid set. Same with Paladin Fates. I actually picked up a few baby shinies because they were very popular as well, and I was just kind of replenishing what was gone. But one thing I noticed with talking to a lot of people, a lot of customers, was the fact that they were after a lot of Japanese. That was probably one of the most requested things, is did I have any Japanese special art rares? And I was just there like, no, I don't. I actually just have normal ARs. I don't have the SARs. It was kind of interesting to see, you know, what the demand was there. Now, as regards to like sealed, I had Inferno X boxes up. Had them under market just because I wanted them gone. They were the last few ones I had left. They sold literally within 20 minutes of opening up. And I was like, cool. These went to people that just wanted to rip packs and have fun, which I thought was fantastic. And then we also then had the mystery packs. The mystery packs sold incredibly well. I took 20 mystery packs with me, and I only had 6 left. They sold very, very well. I was pretty happy with that. A lot of people really liked it. You know, you basically got 5 Scarlet and Violet era / Mega Evo packs, and then you got a mystery bonus card as well, with the chance to get slightly higher value packs in there. So things like Prismatic, Paladin Fates. You could also have a chance to get Crown Zenith, Shining Fates, Champion's Path, Hidden Fates, and Celebrations. So it was quite fun. It was a good fun. They were £35 each. People really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was quite cool. Someone did actually pull some big SIRs, which was absolutely amazing. It's always fun to see when people pull absolute bangers out of the booster packs. It's always great. It's always great fun. So they did very well as well. So overall for the day, so the cost was £150 for the table, travel, and food and drink. And then I would say, so on card, so people pay cash and card. On card, I did around about £900, just shy of £900 on card. And then in cash was just under 600. I think it was more like 570, 580 in cash give or take. So pretty good. And then trade-ins, I took in roughly around about £108 in trade, mostly in singles. So a lot of people would trade in for either higher value singles or a couple of the slabs that actually went. The only slabs I got rid of were ones through trades. None of them actually sold for money, which was kind of interesting. The things I bought in, like I said, I bought in some illustration rares, a whole bunch. I also bought in 2 slabs. I actually did buy in some slabs, but I did get them at a really, really good deal. And someone just literally wanted to offload them. And I was like, I like these. I want to pick them up because they look cool. Which, one of them was the Flareon SIR from Terrestrial Festival in an Ace 10. It looks absolutely amazing. I like getting Eevee slabs. They sell very, very well. So I was happy to pick that one up. And then I also picked up the Lily's Determination as well in English in an Ace 10. Again, pretty reasonable price. So overall, I was really, really happy of the little pickups I managed to get. My overall takeaways was it was very good. Overall, it was the most successful show that I've done so far. I've only done 4, but 1 show next week, which will be my final show for the year. Next year, I don't have any booked as of yet. First half of next year is going to be a little bit tricky with a wedding and honeymoon and stuff to do next year and to have. So for me, it's like around about June, summertime onwards is probably when I'm looking at potentially going to some shows. But I might do something a little bit different. I want to do some like vendor POVs when I go to shows next year. That is definitely something that I want to do. We'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to seeing how things go. And yeah, it's all pretty exciting. It is really, really exciting. And I'm hoping to go to more in the second half of next year. First half, like I say, probably not. But that's fine. I'm looking to get rid of as much as the stock, especially the slabs and the graded stuff as possible. Things are continuing to fall. So I think in 2026, if you are looking to go to vending, be prepared that things are getting cheaper, okay? So whether or not you're buying or selling, check recently sold, make sure you're all up to date on your prices, because look, we've just seen a big boom happen where every single week you're buying a card and then it's just jumped up massively, jumped up 10-20% the following week. It's going the opposite direction now. So be careful and keep an eye out, right? You can find some amazing deals out there as well. And you also notice a lot of trends happen as well. There's certain cards or certain things that people are after. One big popular thing I noticed when I was at the show was One Piece. Everybody was after One Piece. People kept asking me about One Piece. It seems like there's a lot of shift that's moved over from Pokemon to One Piece at the moment. I don't know what's going on there, but that was one thing that was very, very highly requested. But yeah, things are getting better with the release of Ascended Heroes around the corner. It's going to be really interesting to see what 2026 has in store. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments of, how I did. Are you planning on going to vend any? Have you been vending? How have you gone? How have you found things? And do you have anything planned for 2026? Like I said, for me, I'm going to look at trying to go to some shows at the second half of next year. If I can get some at the beginning, that'd be great, but I'm waiting for all these slabs to come back. And I'm always after buying singles. I am going to be putting up a buy list on the website, on the store pretty soon. In 2026, I'm going to be putting up a buy list. So I'm going to try and see if I can get that done and ready. But if you are after any slabs, singled or sealed, then head on over to pokejacecards.com. The link of that will be in the description below. I do ship worldwide. And if you are in the UK and you spend more than £70, you get free shipping as well. So definitely go ahead on over there and see if there's anything you want to grab. I do regular sales on there, especially when it comes to slabs and singles. So go and check that out. If you've got anything that you are looking to trade in or looking to sell, before I get the buy list, then you can always drop me an email or message me through the website or on Discord or on Instagram. And I'm always after English or Japanese singles right now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That is it from me, guys, in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.